And that's what I talk about, man. Like life is not a movie. It's not a movie where you have one breakthrough and like you just taking off. No, man. So today, I decided to try to PR my long run. So the first half of the run, I'm feeling great. My mind is clear, nothing going on. Think about nothing but my running pace, what I'm doing, my breathing, everything like that. Get to mile 15, I turn around, and the demons start to creep in. That inevitable wall's creeping up on me. When you push so hard, something's about to give. And I started to give. My mind started to break down. I started feeling my legs starting to hurt. I started feeling dehydrated. Started feeling sorry for myself. Started looking around. No one knows I'm out here running. Why don't you go ahead and just stop? Call your girl, have her pick you up. You gotta start thinking, I'm the grittiest in the world. Your dehydration, your legs are all sore. You feel like you got shin splints and stress fractures. No, you don't. You got sore legs. Get out of your head and stay hard. People think I became this guy from running. No, I became this guy from studying. I had to study for hours. What might take you an hour to learn, take me 2 days. So that's where, in this, at the table. And my best friend Johnny remembers me like, God, you just changed. Something happened. I got obsessed. So I take the test, I score high, I get in the Air Force. And that's when I'm like, man, I'm gonna be a pararescueman. And this is when I realized, man, I teach myself how to swim. I taught myself how to swim, but this is when I realized, man, that I'm negative buoyant as hell. And there's a lot of things. So what gets people in special operations is the water. Not swimming, but the water confidence. When they're like taking your air from you and you're underwater panic, I realized I was very uncomfortable. So long story short, I was there for 6 weeks. I was moving on pretty well. I was second in my class and I was getting through all the water confidence, but barely. But I wanted to quit every night. I didn't go to sleep every night. Paranoid the next day of getting back in that pool. So 6 months go by, we had this medical examination and they draw my blood and they said, you have sickle cell. Sickle cell is a blood disease that some African Americans have. Basically, if something happens under stressful situations, stroke, heart attack, sudden death. This happened to a few African Americans in the military. So they pulled me from training saying, you can't do this job. And when you live a very stressed out life, like I was living, that's your norm. So not sleeping, being scared, that was my norm. I wasn't gonna quit. But when they pull you out of training, and now I'm comfortable. A lot of us are off work today, celebrating a man who fought for equality for all. While we have a long, long, long way to go. And this world isn't fair. It's fair enough. I see a lot of blacks, whites, women, lesbians out here grinding, getting after it, very successful. So where's your excuse? I see a lot of finger pointing, tons of people blaming other people for different shit. One big thing is this, fear. It keeps you making excuses for yourself. Fear lives one place and one place only, and that's in your mind. Martin Luther King had a dream. Don't let fear yours up. Stay hard. So a few years ago, I used to work on an ambulance, and we pulled up to some horrific car accidents, and we had to assess the scene, and we had this golden hour. That golden hour is very important. We had to get people loaded in the ambulance and get in the hospital. Every morning of our lives, we were in that golden hour. We are assessing the scene of our own personal lives. Are we fat? Are we lazy? Do we not want to accomplish anything in life? You have to assess yourself. After you assess yourself, you have to formulate a plan. That plan is to fix what the fuck is wrong with you. If you don't do that in life, you will continue just to lay there and die and rot away. So make sure you do one thing for yourself in life. Make sure you save yourself. Assess yourself and fix the problem. Stay hard. I got out of the military in November 2015. I retired. Hadn't started social media at all. I think I've been on social media for 2.5 years. 2.5 years I've been on social media, 1.8, almost 1.9 million followers. And basically, it didn't happen overnight, but really grew my business was the fact that I'm not trying, this is gonna sound really to all you business people out there, I'm not trying to make money. I'm trying to help people. And at the core of my soul, when I retired from the military with about $50,000 a year is what I probably make. For me, for a guy that grew up with nothing, I lived in a $7 a month place growing up for a long period of time. And then we moved to a $236 a month place. So basically, you give me $50,000, I'm rich. So my mindset was about helping people. And when people truly believe in your message and believe in who you are and they see that you're being honest. Disappointment, man, we all go through it, obviously. I'm human, like everybody else. What I realized is I've been disappointed so many times in my life that I handle it pretty well, which is sad. But the one thing I do is I have 24 hours in my life where, I'm human again. I have my own pity party. Woe is me. really, it's not even 24 hours, it's about 12 hours because you go to sleep, you got to work out, whatever. I give myself about 12 hours, and then the very next morning I wake up, it's done. It's back to work again. You have to give yourself that time to be human. You have to give yourself that time to bitch and complain and get off your chest. Like, why not get the job? Or why this guy get it? Then you got to get in your right mind and say, okay, I got to get back to work again. So that's how I handle this deployment. I give myself a few hours to give myself my own little pity party. I talk about it, I bitch about it, but the second I wake up the next morning, it is back to the grind and we're done. We move forward.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.